presentation that I'm going to give is upon a case study and how we solved a problem for using Moodle in education sector for an NGO. The overview of this case study is there is a problem statement for an NGO. What are the technical challenges involved in solving the case studies? What is the solution that we have implemented, and what is the implementation methodology we have followed over here? The problem statement for this NGO is they deal with the people who are confident and they need the skills to develop and sustain in their work life. So they are people who are dropouts or who are discontinuing their education and also need to contribute into their socio-economic development of their families. Now, this NGO has developed a remote learning center. Now, these remote learning centers are located in rural parts of India. They are spread across different states of Gujarat, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Now, the learners over here to these remote learning centers are basically to improve their skills upon retail customer interaction and communication skills. Now, this is how a typical remote center looks like. Now, there is a facilitator and there are students who get the training, and there are system labs involved over here in which they learn the content and engage themselves. Now, what are the technical challenges involved over here? Now, being in the remote learning center, being in a rural location, there is no proper communication channels, there is no internet connectivity, there is an imminent broken or connectivity, and we need to connect both online and offline worlds over here, and also engage the students to use the system and get the feedback from the students and implement that feedback. So we have to close the loop which is going to be created. Now, students should also visualize the content. So we cannot say to the students that the apple looks like a ball shape or a circle or it's a red color. We have to show them the apple image. So that means we have to show the content to the students, and those actions has to be recorded by the system. They have to be graded on what they have learned. The content also needs to be updated in the system. And this would be done by the central headquarters, which is situated in the Bangalore. So there is more than 35 learning centers involved all over India, and from this Bangalore, which is the central headquarters, sees that the content is being uploaded. Now, the student progress should also be tracked by the central headquarters. So these are the technical challenges involved over here. So the solution for this is Moodle. How does Moodle involve over here is, we would be setting up a LAN environment in the remote local centers, which will be hosted in one server using PAN, and the local system would be connected to this server. Now, students would be connecting to the local server and accessing the Moodle, and they would be accessing the content that is placed over here. The content would be delivered in the SCOMs, as the SCOMs contains videos and images, and it can render the quizzes also. So quizzes means we can always take in the feedback on what they have learned and grade them. So this means we are getting to know what student is understanding and where he is lacking. The facilitators can enable them in achieving the goals for the reason they have joined this program. Now we have captured, and we would be also taking all this data into the Dropbox and uploading it to the central instance, which is what the central headquarters would be looking into it. And the data would also be pushed back from the central instance to the local center using the Dropbox itself. Now, as there are limited number of systems involved over here, and students are more in this local centers, we have placed in a dual login in the Moodle system. So that means, as you can see, there are two students who can log in into the system at a single point of time, and every action is recorded for both the students. So if a SCOM is accessed by these students, they would be recorded and graded for both the students. So that means we know that both the students have actually system in which you are seeing the SCORM content being rendered, and there are 2 to 3 students accessing the SCORM over here. So this is where the dual login helps them in accessing the content. Now this is the workflow of the from the central instance to the remote local center. So when we are going to create a new remote learning center, this is the workflow that would be followed over here. So there would be the admin would be logging into the central instance, checking if this local center is already there in the system, and then if it's there, he would be creating the courses for them by taking a backup from the existing courses. If it is not there, he would be creating a new local center and then restoring the courses to this local center. And he would be then creating the users, because we need to sync the user's data back to the central instance. So these users would be created first in the central instance and then moved into the local centers, so that we know the usernames and the IDs are in sync with both the local centers and central instance. So once we have done all this mapping in the central instance, we would be downloading this data and taking it in a USB pen drive to the local center. As there is an internet connectivity, this would be then taken to the local center, set up the Moodle, configure the Dropbox, and copy up all these files into the system. Now, the solution over here is we capture the remote learning centers hierarchies in the central instance. So there are multiple partners who work in different states, in regions, and each one has around 4 to 5 local centers that they monitor. Now, grades and logs of the students who are accessing the local center instance would be exported into the Dropbox using an automated script and stored in the pre-configured Dropbox folder. And whenever there is an internet available by using dongle or internet connection is available, these files would be uploaded to the Dropbox cloud. The reason for using Dropbox in this kind of situation is whenever there is an internet connectivity available, these files would be uploaded to the system. So that means we are not losing any data packets, or the file is not corrupted while being uploaded, or when the internet connection is broken. Now, in the central instance, there is again an automated script placed in the Moodle cron, which would be fetching the files from the Dropbox folder. And Dropbox folder is already configured with the local center and the courses. The CSV files of the local centers are dumped into the local center of the Dropbox, which is uploaded to the Dropbox cloud and into that particular local center courses. Now, the central instance would be fetching these files, importing them into the deep database directly. Now, all this is done in the local center weekly once the data is exported, and daily central instance checks for any updated files and imports them into the DB. Now, the results from this